Right, Josh, it was a great way to finish the season.
It was, yeah. I think the best form we had came in the final running. It was important when I think the gaffer said we had a mini league of 8. We had to stay at the top of it instead of looking below us, and we managed to catch a few teams that were above us. So it's not where we wanted to be. We wanted to be minimum, playoffs, looking on to the next couple of weeks, and the dream of Wembley or automatic promotion. But that wasn't the case this season. I don't think it was through being a bad team, just inconsistent performances, and we just look to go on the next season now.
But the difference in feeling between how you felt after MK Dons here and now, it's a world away, isn't it? Yeah, it was. It was
a big test, especially a character, especially with what we were going. We had a couple of injuries. The gaffer had to play around with formations, and then we finished off the season with how he wanted to play, with 4-3-3, and with the attacking options, especially with Bernie and Ricky on the wings. It sort of makes my job easy playing through the middle. So, and then you got the experience of Crofty and the skip and Jake, obviously, with his creation in the middle. So it was important that we finished strong. We didn't want the season to dither out, and just because we managed to get safe, we would just let it just teeter away. That was never the case. It's important that we finish the season strong and we take that momentum from this season into pre-season, and then we hit the ground running next season with no excuses.
What's it like playing with Ricky Holmes? Is it an inspiration?
Yeah, he's just like a Duracell bunny, really. I know in the game that he'll make chances for me. It's just up to me to make the runs, and I know 9 times out of 10 if I'm winning headers, he's going to be on the end of them. Or we seem to have a good relationship. He gave me a lot of assists this season, so for him playing in the teams is absolutely brilliant. And we need players that got at this club for the progression, not only for where the club wants to go, but for individual players. When you're playing with players week in, week out that are a high standard, even in training, it's up to you to bring your standards up again. So I know the recruitment's going to be important in the summer. It'll be good to see who was signed when we're on our summer holidays, but it'll be good to come back and try and keep the squad together, and then push on again next season with a couple of new additions.
Yeah, congratulations on your goal.
Thank you.
Goal for a striker. They're the ones you sort of...
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's sort of a double-edged sword when you play up on your own. You've sort of got to make double movements to the front stick or the back, but I've got the quality, of Jay, who's been absolutely a revelation since he's come in. Yeah, it was fantastic, and when those chances come to you, it's up to you to put the ball away. That's the delivery that you ask for your wide men or your fullbacks, and then it's up to you to put them away. And praise God, today one went in.
And personally, you had a superb game today. I thought you led the line well. You won things in the air.
It's important, yeah. The benefit of having the gaffer here, and even Richie, even though he's leaving, is the demands that he puts on you as an individual, as a player. And there's nobody in the team that's coasting. Everyone has their roles and responsibilities. And for me, playing up front on my own is to bring players into play, above our intention, and just basically to be a nuisance. And the demands of that is very high from the gaffer, and it's good because it puts the pressure on you, and you've got to perform. And I think since the turn of form, and we've managed to put a good run going towards the end of the season, there's been a lot. Well, all of us basically have sort of turned a new chapter looking towards next season, and it was be good. We are, yeah, because the gaffer's knowledge of the game and who he knows is very fast. So it was the same with me in the summer when I heard Charlton Athletic were interested in me. It's a no-brainer. You just come. It's Charlton Athletic Football Club. Do you know what I mean? So
from a player's point of view, there is still that.
Yeah, there's still that pulling power. Even though we finished mid-table, when your agent rings you and he says, "Look, Charlton are wanting to sign you," you're like, "Make the deal happen." It was a no-brainer for me when I came. So I'm sure it's going to be the same when other players get the phone call as well. So it's up to yourself individually to make sure you look after yourself when you're away, and you come back and you hit the ground running, and you put doubts in the manager's mind. You make sure you don't make it easy for him to leave you out. So I think that's what we've all got to do next season, because I estimate that there'll be a lot of changes, and a lot of places up for competition, and it's up to, if you get the jersey, you've got to keep it.
And you've all got to make these tests.
Yeah, we had a lot of fitness tests done, and we've had a lot of I call them sanctions or fines, as the gaffer calls them. But even though we're off, we're not 100% off. I think we've got a couple of weeks off, and then we've got to come back in peak condition, because next season's going to be a big push. There's no room for excuses. There's no room for, oh, maybe we didn't do this right, we didn't do that right. We can't leave no stone unturned, because we can't just have any excuses. So it's important that we come back ready to go, and then we crack on next season from the get-go.
Okay, George, thanks.
From a personal point of view, Josh, and a club point of view, frustrating season, of course. Your one, when you looked like you were on fire before, you got the injury.
Yeah.
And that sort of took the wind out of your season.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, you know, hat-trick 1 week and then off in the 8 minutes the next week, and then it's just all about the rehab and rehabilitation. Probably come back a wee bit too early from ankle injury, and then ended up going out even longer with a hamstring injury because it was overcompensating. But sort of took the wind out of my sails, as you said. But it was important for the last run-in, when every game's important, but when it starts to get crunch time, as it was after we had probably one of the worst Februaries in a long time. After that, it was important that all the players were fit and you weren't messing around. And I think we've shown that in the performances that we had. I think we've shown that we're not a bad team. We were just incredibly inconsistent. And when we put a run together like we did, it was important. And I know some people say, well, you play, I think it was 4 or 3 of the teams that were below you, but you've still got to beat who's in front of you. And there's a lot of good teams in this league, regardless of where they are. And it was important that we put that run together. But on a personal note, you don't ever want to get injured. That's the case, but it's how you bounce back. And it took me a while to get going. And the end of the season with a couple of goals and managed to get in double figures was important for me.
Injury all right now?
Yeah, injury's fine. Yeah, I think I've got a bit of downtime now for I meet up with Northern Ireland on I think it's the 15th or the 20th of May, and I'm away with them for a couple of weeks, so we'll have a good bit of downtime. Just relax, really, let the body recover from a long season. You know, this is my first season playing Saturday, Tuesday most weeks. You know, but it's something I always wanted. It was important for me to come here, as I say. When Charlton asked if it would be interesting, it was a no-brainer, and to do well for the club is massively important for himself.